Welcome, welcome, welcome for practice tonight. I'm so excited that you're here for our liver focus practice. I'll give people a few moments to log on for our class today. You will need props, as you guys know, so just make sure you have your mat, your blanket, make sure you have your bolster, couch cushion, or pillow, maybe a couple of them to stack. If you're using a pillow, it might not be hard enough, so you might want a couple of them. Then if you have blocks, awesome, grab them. If you don't, of course, just bringing a stack of books nearby that you can use to support at different heights as you may need it. And then if you have an eye mask or eye pillow, even the one that you sleep with, grab one of those so our eyes can rest. And bring yourself a blanket in case you want it to cover up or get a little bit cozier in any of our poses, especially if you have a stack of books, because you might use the blanket to cover the books when we're resting the forehead or resting the body on the books to help support us. Beautiful. So just making sure you have all of your props for practice before we settle in. And then, welcome for our liver focus practice. So to begin, we're going to start in waterfall, as we always do. So you can, I'll show you with the block, if you have a block. So you might come with the feet opposite sides of the mat, planted firmly. You'll use your block, lift your hips, choose your height, low, middle, upper. Bring the block to the lower back, and then the butt cheeks hang off the block. You'll bring the knees towards the chest, and then send the feet up towards the sky. Flexing the feet, they're slightly separated, just like legs up the wall. The arms come up above the head, palms facing up. Placing your eye pillow on the eye, tucking the chin towards the chest. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, making sure the lower back feels supported as much as possible. So you might stay here for our waterfall. When you come down from here, you're bending the knees towards the chest, bringing the feet opposite sides of the mat, grounding them down, lifting the hips, coming down upper, middle, lower back, and then bringing the knees together, coming here to rest, palms facing up. So if you want to try that variation of our waterfall, feel free to do so. Or if you don't have a block, no worries. Just bringing your mat up against the wall. Some of you might already be in our legs up the wall if you know where we're headed. So bringing your mat against the wall, sitting down next to the wall, scooching as close as possible. Then rolling onto the back, sending the legs up the wall, feet slightly separated again. Feet are flexed just like you're standing on the ground. Placing the eye pillow on the eyes. Arms up above the head, palms facing up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. So choosing your variation of waterfall or legs up the wall for our first pose, and then using the breath to begin to arrive in your pose. The legs are up the wall, thinking about relaxing the lower back into the mat. Beginning to arrive in this space, beginning to arrive in yourself for our practice tonight. Letting any stress or worry or anxiety from the day start to fall away. Remembering that in yin, we're really trying to get out of the muscle and into our fascia. So here, even in this first pose, beginning to think about allowing your muscles to relax. Allowing the muscles to let go. They've worked so hard for you all day. Now they have a break, a time to relax and restore. If you're in waterfall or legs up the wall and you feel any shaking or trembling or twitching, just remembering that this is your nervous system recalibrating. It's your nervous system removing stress from the body. So really, if you have any of those sensations, allowing them to pass through and out of the body, not trying to control them or trying to stop them. You're holding space for your body to begin to heal itself. You already know exactly what you need. Your body just needs the space to be able to do it. So here in this first pose, we're already beginning to drop into our parasympathetic nervous system, coming into our rest and digest state. And it's from this place, this rest and digest state of the nervous system, where your body can actually begin to repair and restore. We spend so much of our lives in our sympathetic nervous system, in that fight or flight mode, with our adrenal glands working so hard and overtime. And what that ends up doing is it prevents the body from being able to come into that deep state where it can restore itself. So then we end up getting injured, then we end up having disease in the body, then we end up having areas of discomfort and pain, because the body simply hasn't had the opportunity to really rejuvenate itself. So here in our yin practice, we give our bodies that opportunity. And remembering to use those full, deep yogic breaths. So when you inhale, inhaling fully into the belly first, expanding the belly out, then inhaling into the lungs for their full expansion. When you exhale from the top of the lungs, then the bottom of the lungs, and then finally emptying the belly. So this deep, full breath also is a signal to our body to begin to let go, to begin to rest and restore. And in yin, we hold our poses for 3 to 5 minutes because of our muscle memory. Because our muscles are so used to constantly working, they actually need that long of a period of time to even begin to start to relax. And yin is all about moving past the muscle and coming into the fascia. Our fascia is that deep connective tissue that runs throughout the body. And in yin, it's known as our life story. So the fascia holds our life story. So when we've had pain or trauma or experiences that we haven't fully processed, it gets stored in the fascia. And that's what leads to issues with the body. So we really want to let those muscles go so we can open and expand our fascia, so we can clear out old crap from our life story that no longer serves us. allowing your body to feel the maximum benefit of this first posture. Let's take 3 more full, deep breaths. With your next exhale, slowly beginning to bend the knees towards the chest. When you're ready, if you have your legs up the wall, just rolling over to the side for a breath or 2. If you're on your block, bringing your feet opposite sides of the mat, lifting the hips, removing the block. And then we will all meet laying on the back with the feet opposite sides of the mat. So the feet are wide, the knees are touching, and the palms are facing up. So we come to our neutral pose before we move into the next pose. Taking a few breaths here, we're allowing the spine to settle, allowing any energy that was moving to settle. Next, exhale. Slowly roll over to the right side, using your arms to help bring you up. Remembering we don't want to activate our muscles. And then for our next pose, we're going to come into reclining butterfly. So for reclining butterfly, you'll need the bolster or a pillow or the cushion from the couch. Something a little bit firmer is probably best for this posture. And tonight, like I said, we're going to be working with the liver. So in reclining butterfly, sometimes we have our feet further away from the body, but when we're working with the liver, we bring the feet as close to the body as possible. So you'll bring the soles of the feet together, feet as close to your body as you can. Then bringing the bolster behind the back, making sure you have that pillow or eye mask for the eyes. We'll inhale here. We exhale, lay down on the bolster, making sure the lower back is supported with the bolster. Beautiful. Then for your arm options, I'm going to show you a few variations. You can bend the elbows at 90 degrees, bring the arms out at shoulder height. Or if you're feeling a lot of heat in the body, because sometimes the liver can release quite a bit of heat. So if you're feeling that and you want to redistribute the heat or even out the heat, you can grab opposite elbows. So the middle finger comes to touch the outside of the elbow on either side. And then you hold the elbows, tucking the chin towards the chest. So you could choose what feels best for you, or you're always welcome just to have the hands by the side, palms facing up. Remembering to place and cover the eyes whenever possible. So choosing your variation, and then using the breath to begin to arrive in your reclining butterfly. And especially for tonight, covering the eyes is extra important because each of our 5 primary organs in yin has a sense organ. And for the liver, our sense organ is the eyes. Sometimes we hear people say the eyes are the window to the soul. And in yin, the liver is the organ that houses our soul. So the eyes are our sense organ, and they allow us to see into our soul. You can tell the health and state of a person's liver through the eyes. So when we cover the eyes, when we give them a chance to rest, we're resting in our soul. Reclining butterfly is a posture we can never do too much of. So if you only have time for 2 poses a day, if you don't have time for a full practice, waterfall or legs up the wall that we just did, and then this pose, reclining butterfly, are the 2 that we should try to practice as much as possible. Because of the way both of these postures deeply affect the nervous system, and also the way that they help to balance out our 5 primary organs, which is what we're always working with as a base in our yin practices. So tonight, as we're beginning to work with our liver, with our soul, the liver is all about helping us boost our immune system. So the liver governs the immune system because of the way that it's connected to our blood. In yin, blood is known as our qi. It's our life force. So we're boosting our immune system and strengthening and renewing our life force. Also, with the time of year that it is, the liver is connected with the spring. So we're honoring the time of year by working with the liver right now. We have a little less than a minute here. So using the breath, fully dropping into your pose. Let's take 4 more deep cleansing breaths. With your next exhale, bringing the arms by the side if they're not there yet. And then slowly, slowly, slowly beginning to bring the knees together. Making sure the lower back is supported, planting the feet, just taking a few breaths here. Allowing everything to settle. As you're ready, rolling over to the right side, slowly coming up to a seat. And then we're going to move into a pose called half butterfly. And I'm going to show you with a stack of books how you might do this pose at home. So you'll need your bolster or your block. I don't know why I keep calling it a block, it's okay. A bolster or a pillow or your couch cushion here in front of you. You're going to extend the left leg long, bring the left leg towards the outside of the mat and flex the foot. Your right foot is flexed and it comes to the inside of the left thigh. Grounding through the sit bones, feeling yourself rooted down into the mat. The bolster is here. And then we'll place the stack of books, or if you have a block, feel free to use your block. If you're using books, you might come and cover them with a blanket just to help support you and soften them. And then we're going to send the left hand outside of the left leg, palm facing up towards the sky. Your right arm comes bent at 90 degrees in front of the block, and then the forehead rests on the block or the stack of books. So play with the height that you might want. Grab a few different books, maybe make it higher or lower depending on what you need. Making sure to support the body wherever you are today. Just allowing the forehead to come down. And then as you find the variation that works best for you, feel free to make your stack as big as you need to. Or even if that isn't working for the body, you could always just use the bolster or the block, the pillow, and support the head that way. So using the breath, beginning to let all of the muscles go and maybe noticing where you're feeling this one. So the liver meridian channel runs on the inside of the legs. So you might feel it here on the inside of the legs. And the partner organ for our liver is the gallbladder. And that channel runs on the outside of the legs. The liver stores anger, resentment, and rage. And the gallbladder houses bitterness. So maybe just noticing where you might be holding different things in the body. And you don't even have to become attached that, oh, there's this sensation there, I must be angry about something. But just becoming aware, just noticing, just tuning into yourself. And then you can use the breath and just breathe into that space. Use your exhale and let it go. Using the breath to actually clean out and refresh the body. Removing blockages that no longer serve you. Allowing yourself to relax as much as possible. Remember, if there's any shaking or trembling happening, it's your body saying, thank you for taking the time. So just let it release and remove whatever needs to go. Taking 3 more full, complete breaths. Then planting the hands either side of the body, coming up with as straight a back as possible. And then we'll send both feet long. Just taking a few breaths in center, letting the body come back to neutral. And then when you're ready, we'll go over the other side. So trying to do the same that you did on one side for the other. Keeping the right foot on the outside this time, flexing the foot, bending the left knee, bringing the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Maybe repositioning the bolster a little bit. And then this time, the right arm comes outside of the right leg, palm facing up. Left arm bends at 90 degrees, comes in front of the block, and the forehead rests on the block. Coming back to the breath. Maybe noticing if this side is the same or maybe slightly different from the left side. And today is actually the new moon in Taurus. So we have a new moon. It's all about a new cycle, a new beginning. But this new moon, because it's in the sign of Taurus, is asking us to radically slow down. It's asking us to pay attention to our bodies and to enjoy the simple pleasures. And what a beautiful way to honor that by practicing yin today. Yin is all about slowing down, connecting more deeply with our bodies. And maybe see if tonight during practice you can really just begin to enjoy the simple pleasure of being in a pose. Relishing in the body opening up, in the energy flowing and moving freely. For our last minute here, allowing yourself to fully release, to be supported by your props. Maybe finding that pleasure in simply being, not trying to strive or do or become, just to simply be. Taking 4 more big, beautiful breaths. Planting the palms, coming up with a straight back. Sending both the feet long, taking a few breaths in center. And then when you're ready, our next posture doesn't require any props. So you can move your props off of your mat, giving yourself the space. And then we're going to come into tadpole. So you'll bring the knees wide, bring the big toes to touch. Making sure that the toes aren't crossing on top of one another, that the big toes are just touching. And then we'll find that long, tall spine, crown towards the sky. We'll inhale. Exhale, walking the pads of the fingers down, down, down. Bringing the hands slightly wider than shoulder distance, planting the palms down, the forehead comes down to the mat. Tucking the chin towards the chest, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Sitting the hips back, coming back to the breath. If you want some more support, the hips aren't reaching back, you can bring a block here and use the block to help support the lower body. You could even bring the cushion or the bolster as a support if you wanted to use it. And if the arms in front are not comfortable for you, you can make 2 fists and rest the forehead here. So you choose what feels best for you. where you can fully let the muscles relax, allowing your fascia to open. Allowing the body to be in its tadpole. So with this new moon in Taurus, my yoga teacher, Jackie Sadek, actually sent a little poem a few days ago, and I thought it really fit for tonight's practice. It's by Jeff Foster, and it's called Let Yourself Rest. If you're exhausted, rest. If you don't feel like starting a new project, don't. If you don't feel the urge to make something new, just rest in the beauty of the old, the familiar, the known. If you don't feel like talking, stay silent. If you're fed up with the news, turn it off. If you want to postpone something until tomorrow, do it. If you want to do nothing, let yourself do nothing today. Feel the fullness of the emptiness, the vastness of the silence, the sheer life in your unproductive moments. Time does not always need to be filled. You are enough simply in your being. I just thought that that was a really beautiful reminder, thinking about radically slowing down, paying attention to our bodies, finding simple pleasures. That it doesn't always have to be about striving, about creating, about becoming. There's really such a beauty in the ability just to simply be. To take pleasure just resting. To notice the sheer life in our unproductive moments. I know that was something that really resonated with me. The fullness of the emptiness. Just allowing yourself to rest. And acknowledging that if you don't feel like doing anything that day, that's okay. Just honoring exactly where you're at in each moment. So for our last minute here, allowing yourself to fully rest. In our tadpole, we're activating our point of intuition, our third eye, in between and slightly above the eyebrows. So allowing yourself to rest in this place of connecting with your inner intuition, resting in our soul. Taking 3 more deep, nourishing breaths. hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up with that straight spine. Just taking a few breaths here. If you're wanting to conserve some of your energy with the palms down, maybe the palms up in an act of gifting and receiving. Relishing in that ability just to be. And then when you're ready, we're going to move into a pose called square pose. And I think it's easier if I show you guys front on. So for square pose, again, we won't need any props. And we'll start with the right leg at a 90-degree angle. So you want the knee in line with the hip. You're flexing the right foot and the ankle is in line with the knee. So you're creating this 90-degree angle with the right leg. This is the one that's most important. The left leg, it's okay wherever it rests, but the right leg we want to keep at this 90-degree. Then the left leg, lifting the right knee, bring the left leg underneath wherever it can fit. So maybe resting the knee on top, but maintaining the right leg at a 90-degree angle. Then we're going to come forward. So you might use a stack of books with your blanket over it. You might use a block if you have it, or if you have an eye pillow, you could bring it on the block to create a little cushion for the forehead. Again, activating that third eye point. We'll come forward, resting the forehead down. The palms are facing up. Making sure that we flex both the feet to protect the knee, protect our ankle joints. And then maybe as you come into it, playing a little bit with where the left foot is, just trying to find a point where it's as comfortable as possible. Also remembering in our poses, if you ever start to feel cool, you can always put a blanket over yourself in any of our postures. So using the breath to begin to come into your square pose. And it might feel really uncomfortable, maybe on the outside of the leg, where our gallbladder meridian is, maybe on the inside of the leg, where the liver meridian is. So just noticing, honoring, and then breathing in any areas where you feel tightness or discomfort. Using the exhale, letting it go. So this new moon in Taurus is also calling us to rethink the ways in which we are using our resources, which we can see with everything from resources of time, materials available to us, getting creative with the things that we have in our lives, and innovative in the ways in which we think about abundance and mutual prosperity, which I've seen already, this shift of what does abundance mean in people's life? You know, what is their focus? What is the gratitude that they're finding? Abundance of time or abundance of ability to have chats with family and friends, or just the abundance when you are able to get outside and you feel the sun on your face or the wind, you know, these different things that we're noticing. And the idea of mutual prosperity, the way that humanity is coming together right now to help support so that we can be prosperous as a human collective versus at this mutual prosperity, versus where prosperity might have been seen more individualized, right? We were more concerned about our own prosperity. And now it's like the whole world is coming together for this mutual prosperity, and that's what this new moon is about. Let's take 2 more breaths on this side. When you're ready, bringing the hands again underneath the shoulders. Inhale, coming up. Slowly, slowly, we'll just release. You can have the knees bent or maybe send the legs long, whatever feels best for you. Just take a few breaths here in neutral. Letting the energy settle. And then we'll go for the other side. So this time, the left leg is at our 90 degrees. So bringing the knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee, flexing the feet. Then we'll tuck that right foot in, wherever it's comfortable for you, but maintaining that 90-degree angle with the left leg. Moving your props if you need to. Inhaling here. Exhale, walking forward, palms up, forehead rests. Maybe making some micro adjustments with the right foot. Getting it as comfortable as possible. And then coming back to the breath. So over these next few days, as we're feeling a need maybe to become innovative or creative with our materials and our resources, we might start to feel a pull for a need for a bit of restructuring. Whether that's in our physical environments, or emotional restructuring, or mental restructuring. But we need to remember that Taurus is a slow and steady sign. So if you're feeling these pulls and these urges, maybe it's to reorganize things in your house, or it's to do some work with subconscious thinking in the mind, or it's working through some emotional baggage that you know that you've been holding on to. We need to just honor that yes, this restructuring that we're feeling, this pull that we're feeling is necessary, but because it's in Taurus, it's not about jumping and doing it now, but it's about a slow and steady restructuring. It's about making changes that we can integrate a little bit at a time. So maybe it's one thing that you want to focus on. Maybe it's implementing one morning routine that you do every morning, whether it's waking up and having a warm glass of lemon water every morning, or it's waking up and doing a 5-minute meditation every morning. Just one thing that you might implement. Or reorganizing one drawer in the house. But we need to be doing it in a way that feels sustainable for the long term, to help support us to be successful in long term with these restructurings that are coming. So just remembering that as we go into the next few days, just taking small, beautiful, slow, steady steps. Taking 2 more deep, full breaths. hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, slowly, slowly coming up. Maybe bending the knees or send the feet long, taking a few breaths. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come into supine moon. So for supine moon, no props are needed. We'll just lay down on the mat. Make sure you're in the middle of the mat. So we'll send the feet long, hands by the side. We'll begin with the feet. You're going to flex the feet, walk the heels over to the right. With the feet flexed, you'll cross the right ankle over the left. Then sending the arms up overhead, you'll walk the hands, the arms, the neck, the shoulders over to the right. Then, using your right hand, hold your left wrist. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, and then you'll turn the chin towards the left armpit, looking over towards the left. Remembering to keep the feet flexed, and then allow the body to begin to relax into your pose. Supine moon. Opening up the left side of the body. In this pose, we're opening up our psoas muscle, which is a muscle that connects the top of the body, the torso, to our legs. And it's known as the muscle of the soul. So we stretch and open it to remove anything that's blocking us from our soul purpose. So if you're feeling really tight on this side, remember just using the breath, breathing in any discomfort, using the exhale, letting it go. Also, to remember that in these next few days, if you don't feel like doing it, then don't. Let yourself have the space and the rest that you need. That time does not always need to be filled. And maybe just really checking in with what it is that you do need. Is it just some beautiful, complete rest, relishing in the pleasure of just being? Or is it maybe starting to make those slow, sustainable, long-term shifts or habits that you've been wanting to cultivate? Whatever it is, remembering that you are enough simply in your being. Taking 4 more full, deep breaths. With your next exhale, releasing the wrist, walking the head, the arms, the neck, the shoulder back to center. Then unhooking the feet and walking the feet slowly back to center. Bring the arms by the side, taking a few breaths. Noticing the difference between the left and the right side. When you're ready, flexing the feet, walking the legs over to the left as far as is comfortable. Flexing those feet, crossing the left over the right, sending the arms up overhead. Walk the head, the shoulders, the arms over to the left. Use the left hand to hold the right wrist. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, bring the chin towards the right armpit, looking over to the right, closing the eyes, resting your soul. Allowing to let all of the muscle go. Feeling the psoas muscle on the right side of the body open. Also, our physical organ of the liver sits here on the right side of the body, in the mid to lower torso. So feeling it open, feeling yourself letting go of anything blocking you from your purpose. If you're feeling any discomfort, using the inhale, breathing in, gathering it together. Using the exhale, letting it go. Maybe sending some gratitude to yourself for taking the time and space. Your inner intuition for showing up tonight during this new moon that's all about slowing down, relishing in the simple pleasures, and honoring our bodies. Scanning the body, making sure you're not holding any tension in the hips or the shoulders. Allowing your body to fully drop into your pose. To fully open and relax. Taking 4 more spacious breaths. rocking the feet back to center, taking a few breaths here. And then it's time for our Shavasana. So you don't even need to come up to a seat. Maybe just grab your blanket if you want to cover up with your blanket. Definitely get something to cover the eyes with if you can. Maybe bringing your bolster under your knees if you want a little more support. And then we'll bring the feet opposite sides of the mat. Let the feet flop out to the side. Covering the eyes if you can. Bringing the arms by the sides, slightly separated from the body. Palms facing up. Making sure the lower back is in contact with the floor. If it's not in contact, lift the hips and roll the lower back down. Make sure the shoulders are nowhere near the ears. And that the chin is slightly tucked towards the chest to elongate the back of the neck. Remembering that Shavasana is the time for our bodies to absorb the nutrients of our practice. It's the time for us to completely release, relax, and let go. So making any last micro adjustments so you can be as comfortable as possible. And then we'll bring the awareness to the top of the head. Relax the top of the head. Relax the forehead and the eyes. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. Relax the mouth and the tongue. Relax the back of the head. Relax the ears. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the arms and the wrists. Relax the hands and the fingers, letting go. Relax your rib cage. Relax the torso. Relax the hips. Let them melt into the mat. Relax your thighs and your knees. Relax the calves and the ankles. Relax the feet and the toes, letting go. Relax your whole body. Let your whole body go. Beginning to bring the awareness back to the breath. Beginning to notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Begin to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Beginning to bring movement back to the body by wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. You might reach the arms up overhead, sending the feet long for one last long stretch. When you're ready, bending the knees, rolling over to one side, maybe having a breath or two on the side. As you come up to a seat, using the arms to help you, keeping the eyes closed if you can. We'll meet with the hands at heart center. Bowing to look within with gratitude. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining for practice. As always, if you have any questions or anything happened in the body that you want to chat about, feel free to shoot me a message and we can talk about it. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of the evening and I'll see you soon.